Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Blunttalkzz. Today, we got a really solid topic to talk about. The topic that we're going to talk about today is a legit problem that's going on in the U.S. since cannabis has been legalized for recreational and medicinal use. This happens to be THC percentage inflation, which means that companies that are producing cannabis and labs that are testing cannabis are inflating THC percentages. And if you're not sure what that means, it means that basically the percentages that you see on THC products, cannabis flower, concentrates, dabs, edibles, all that stuff, it's being manipulated, which means that in a lot of cases you're not getting the actual number. And there's a lot of different reasons for this, but the number one reason is pretty much the most common and common sense reason, and that is that in the cannabis industry it has been known, and a precedent has been set that the higher the THC level is in a particular product, the better that product is. And that is just not true, guys. It's not true, and a lot of people put too much emphasis on the THC levels, and that's what's causing the inflation to happen, because these companies know that if they have cannabis that's in the high 20s or low 30s even now in some cases, that's going to fly out the door, because people are going to look at their menu, they're going to go down the THC percentage line, and they're going to stop at the highest one they see. In most cases, that's what most consumers do when they go to the dispensary, and that's no fault of their own. I mean, I used to do it too. I mean, I still find myself doing it just from years of being conditioned into thinking that these THC percentages matter that much. And I'm not saying that they don't matter. They absolutely do matter, but I don't think they matter as much as people make them out to be, because of the entourage effect and terpenes and cannabinoids. I mean, there's a lot more things at play than just THC. But all in all, man, it's happening. It's happening in the U.S. It's happening in New Jersey. It's happening in a lot of the states with bigger markets like California, Washington, and stuff like that. And basically what's happening is it's basically happening on two fronts, man. It's happening actual in the grow rooms, you know what I'm saying, in the dispensaries. The people that are actually growing the cannabis, or they're doing certain things before they send it out to the labs that is going to yield a higher THC percentage. And also, these labs are in cahoots with a lot of the big growers. They have contracts, because once a dispensary, or once a lab has a reputation where they manipulate their THC levels, and they're known to make maybe under the table deals with their people, then all of the dispensaries flock to those labs, and then those labs become busy, and then it's messed up in the industry. The labs that are doing solid work and that don't want to be involved in any type of bribes or inflating THC levels, they just want to do the right thing, they get penalized, because all the dispensaries in that area won't want to go to those labs, because they want to go to the labs that are going to give them the best results and the best chance to make a ton of money. And that's what it's come down to, man. So to me, the best way to really counter that is just not to put so much emphasis on the THC levels, man. I'm going to give you a good example, because this just happened. I came across the strain that's called Tropicana Cookies. Amazing strain. It's purple looking. It's amazing, man. It smells so good. It smells just like orange juice. It's just an amazing strain. It gives you a really solid high. It's potent, but it runs on the lower side of THC. It's in the 16 to 18 percentage. level, and for most people they would pass on that. That would be a pass. If there's options on the list that are 20 plus, you're gonna pass an amazing, I mean, when I talk about Tropicana cookies, I'm saying this is an elite strain. This strain won an award in 2018. It's a solid strain and it runs low on THC, and a lot of consumers are gonna pass on that just because of the THC levels. And that's sad because, like I said, it's a really good strain, solid on all levels, man. Taste, smell, high, everything. And most people, you know, that might sit on the shelves in a dispensary just because of a low THC level if it's actually recorded properly. You know what I mean? Because you might have that same strain that is really 16% THC, but because the dispensary or the lab is inflating the results, it's really showing 22, 23%. You know what I mean? And when you talk to 7 out of 10 people that go to cannabis dispensaries and you ask them what's the main reason why you go to a dispensary opposed to a black or gray market person, and the answer is going to be most of the time is because I know what I'm getting. That's what you're going to get. That's what you're going to hear. I know what I'm getting from the dispensary. I know that this is exactly what I'm getting. 20-something% this. I know what's in it. I know the CBD, the terpenes. But if the THC levels are being inflated, then you don't know what you're getting. And if you take this video and say, oh, my dispensary's not doing that, where I go isn't doing that, but how do you know? How do you know? I mean, it's all about money. In this business and almost any other business, it's all about money. So I'm not saying that every dispensary, every lab in your state is doing this, but I think that it's probably like a 50-50 thing. It might even be leaning more towards dispensaries and labs that are inflating their levels, because the higher the THC levels are on your menu, the more cannabis you're going to push, and that is just the bottom line. So instead of putting the work in your grow room and hiring some top-notch people that know how to grow cannabis and can really give you an amazing product, you want to inflate your numbers. And it bothers me because a lot of people that are starting these dispensaries, they don't even smoke cannabis. They're just in it for the money. They know there's money to be made and they jump right in. So they don't care about the consumer. They don't care about the bottom line, the smoker, the weed head like me, and God forbid the patients, man. The people who need the cannabis, not, you know what I'm saying? The people that have medical issues, problems, epilepsy, cancer, anxiety, stress, appetite, this, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of stuff going on to the point where if we're dealing with inflated THC percentages, I mean, to what end? I mean, that's all I'm saying, man. That is all I'm saying, and it's real. And you know, it's funny too, because whenever I talk about these dispensaries and how some of them are doing illegal things behind closed doors, I get people that want to come at me like, oh, I worked in a dispensary and they would never do that, and I used to weigh out my apes and they were never short. Dude, I got 3 short apes from a dispensary. I'm just going off of my experience. Maybe where you were working, maybe you were their best employee. Maybe the dispensary that you were working in was a legit dispensary. I'm not saying that every dispo out there is doing this, but it's a fact. If you do a Google search right now on THC percentages being inflated, you're gonna get a ton of links, man, that will give you instances of when this happened. And you know, even though it's regulated, like I live in New Jersey. Whatever New Jersey does, they highly regulate it. Guns, everything. Cannabis is legal now for recreational and medicinal. New Jersey is gonna regulate it, man. But everything is private. So these labs, they're privately owned. You know what I mean? So how can the state regulate it when you don't know what kind of backdoor deals these dispensaries are doing with the labs? You don't know if they're saying, here, man, like, I'm gonna give you a kickback. Like, I'm gonna use you as my exclusive lab to test all my products as long as you give me an edge on my percentages, man. And that's happening, dude. Like, that is 100% happening. I'm gonna say, and I'm not, you know, an expert mathematician or nothing like that, but common sense will tell you that if this is happening in every place in the United States where there's a market for legal cannabis and medical cannabis, there's definitely THC percentages being inflated, man. And that's why I'm doing this video. I just wanted to bring it to people's attention that this is actually happening. It's sad. It's sad that it's happening. The best chance of actually fixing the problem is to get federal legalization. That way the federal government is going to regulate everything, and it's going to be regulated through the federal government, and then you're not going to have different, rules, regulations, and statutes across every state that is legal. And that's what's happening right now. So you might have a state where, it's regulated but very lightly in one state, and then you might have another state like New Jersey where it's regulated like really like foot on your like throat, like we want to know what you're doing, how you're doing it at all times. And I don't know, man. All I know is that I would prefer to be able to trust the people that I'm getting my cannabis from. I would prefer to not go into a dispensary and have to worry about if the numbers that I'm seeing on the back of my flower is the real numbers, man. You know what I'm saying? And but that's the reality that we're in right now. And if you're a weed smoker, I wanted to bring it to you guys' attention. If you have any instances or examples of this happening, drop it in the comments, guys. Don't forget, man, this is a big problem. Leafly is involved in this problem. A lot of people are trying to get involved and bring it to light, and the more pressure that you put on your state regulatory committee, the more that they'll try to get things done. So that's why sometimes just looking up the number, emails to the committee in your state, and just flood them with emails. And if you nag people enough, change will happen, and that's how change comes. So that's all I wanted to say in this video, guys. This is real. It's happening in every state. If you got any light to shed on this, drop it in the comments. Don't forget, guys, if you're not subscribed to the channel yet, hit that sub button, because we're talking about cannabis all day, every day on this channel. I drop about 2 videos a week. And yeah, man, subscribe to the channel if you want to be a part of one of the best cannabis channels on the internet. And also, give me a thumbs up if you're digging the content. And don't forget to drop a comment and let me know what you think on THC cannabis inflation, man, because it's real. It's real. It's happening. And it needs to be something that cannabis has to be regulated better than it's being regulated right now. Because even in the dispos, you don't know what you're getting, and it shouldn't be like that. It should be a trust thing. You should be able to trust the cannabis that you're getting, whether you're getting it from a dispensary, a grower, whatever. All I'm saying is that I just wish that there was more trust, in this business, man. But there's not. But it's all about money, man. People only care about money. That's really what it's all about. I mean, people will do whatever it takes to be the better company, to move their product faster. And that's why, to them, it's like not even that big of a deal, man. But it is a big deal. It is a big deal, because when you have a product and it says 26%, and then maybe you test it yourself and spend the money to send it to your own lab, and it comes back 15%, that's a big deal. That's a big deal. That's against the law. That's false advertisement. And I believe that that's probably punished by imprisonment, I'm sure, in some states. So drop a comment, guys. Let me know what you think. Have a great day. Don't forget to stay lit, and peace.